Okay, I'm gonna do another weekend scores video. It's been a few weeks. Salvage sales was off for a couple weeks. That really has become my main source of scores, even though I still cruise Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace quite a bit. Got some very good scores recently. I'm also kind of drowning in stuff and trying not to get too much stuff. I know it's like the opposite of a lot of people's problems who like can't find anything in their towns. Also, look harder, stuff pops up. You just gotta be the first one to grab it. I got one little box of salvage sales. It wasn't too super exciting today. Some good scores. And then stuff went crazy. So I picked out all this stuff. And then the guy running salvage sales was like, he showed me an old road frame. He's like, oh, what do you think the value of this is? And I looked at it and it had the wrong fork. I'm like, dude, it's got the wrong fork. It's nothing super special. Wrong fork. I don't know. Today's market, $20. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, 5 years ago, maybe $100, $200. And then I noticed it had a tire rub cutting into the tube on the rear triangle. I'm like, zero. It's recycling. You know, this is unsafe. And he's like, he wouldn't believe me. He's like, no way. And hung it back up. And I was like, fucking wing nutty bike mechanics. Everyone's trying to make money. Don't care if people get hurt. They showed me another frame. It was a purple Schwin Paramount. Probably like late 80s, maybe early 90s. I'm like, this is not desirable. It's one of the weird Series 7 PDG OS. I think they're like licensed or something. And he wanted to be cool. I'm like, nah, dude, the 70s one's the cool one's all people care about. And then I'm like, you know, I'll buy it because the paint's kind of good. I'd make it into a fixed gear. And he's like, no, I don't know, lol. You want to make everything into a fixed gear? I'm like, that's all it sells. And then he's like, it's got parts on it. I do $50. And I'm like, I'll think about it. Set it aside. So I got this box of stuff, and it was pretty cheap. I think the box was $20, not including some tools. I paid $5 for this clamp-on weird handlebar bag. I don't know why. I've been wanting one. I'll put it on some bike to run some errands in. It's got a map pocket and some Velcro straps and, you know, quick release bracket. And it's nothing special. I want one. I got a couple tools. I broke that chain whip in the last video. This one looks a little more heavy duty and used, and so hopefully it'll hold up. And I got one of these going through my tools and realized I did not have a pin spanner on a bottom bracket tool. And I'm looking for a bottom bracket tool that I'm going to grind out and make it the right shape for that weird old Allegro French bottom bracket. It's all oversized and octagonal and weird. So, I got one pin. I should have pulled a pin out of another one. Then a half a dozen there. Most of them either had one pin or both pins broken or missing. So let's start. So the rest of this box was a $15 then. There's some good stuff. Since I've been talking about it, I'm going to show off this frame. So I did end up buying it. It says Paramount. It doesn't say Schwin or anything. It's something weird. It's chromo, Tongay tubes. It does have pretty decent paint. Especially this side. It's got kind of cool scrolly lugs. It's very purple into blue with teal logos, translucent-y. It does say Schwin here in one sticker. Schwin quality. It looks like a very Walmart-y, modern-y Schwin sticker. It does not feel light at all. I did buy it also because it does have these 600 cranks and derailleur, front derailleur and brakes. So any of this stuff's good. I mean, paid $50 for the whole thing. I've gotten $45, $50 for just these brakes. Also, I think I bought a bike recently that had 600 stuff on it that I stripped off, like an old carbon frame. That I think it had good wheels. Gotta dig around my wheels. I might have the right wheels for this, and if I do, maybe I'll just build it up as a city bike like I do. It does have a 105 headset on it. It might be dead, so who knows? If everything's dead, I'll pull it apart and build it up as a fixie. I do have those black Originate wheels and cranks. I was planning on putting in a different frame, but this frame's cooler. This bike would be cool with black Originate fixed gear wheels and fixed gear cranks, and put some just generic black brakes on it, and maybe a cheap generic black headset, black seat post. You don't really black it out. So this is one of two frames I got. I'll show you the other one later. So I dug around. It wasn't that exciting. I always run with the Derailers first because Derailers sell pretty well and I like them. I should go with the brakes first. The other guys at Vintage Bike Parts who goes there, he went for the brakes. And he got a bunch of stuff and I was a little sad. Let's dig. Okay, I got another one of these carbon fiber specialized seat posts. Actually kind of scuffy. It's fine. I got one last week or 3 weeks ago. It was better, but it's missing this bottom cradle, so therefore worth $0. I have these once in a while, so maybe, I can steal the cradle or for the nicer one. Maybe I'll sell this one and throw that one away. Who knows? I looked through the handlebars a bit. There was one bar I liked. This is the Salsa Bell Lap Moto Ace 26.0 bar clamp. I've talked about these before. They came really wide. They have some flare. This is like a nice rando bar. It's a cyclocross bar, but it's got a nice rando bar. Before Velo Orange started making a nice rando bar, which I don't think they even make anymore. This was it for 26.0 flared. I've used these on some old touring bikes. I've sanded out all the black and polished it so you couldn't tell. The bends always bugged me. But if you're doing some kind of moderny, it's really wide. Like, this bar is cool. If I was doing a moderny build, I would use this bar, but I'll probably just sell it. Because they sell pretty easy. People like salsa stuff. Anything that says salsa on it, I'm going to get a few bucks for. It's worth picking up at salvage prices. So this is a 46. Alright. Nice and wide. I got one set of MKS double L toe cages. Cheap leather straps are no good. Yeah, well goes, I wouldn't ride those. Whatever, salvage sale price. I still have to figure out toe cages for my Peugeot fixed gear, and I have the little gold bike, this is the last video on, that I want to switch out the cages on. It's got plastic ones, giving the pedals. I did find, digging through like a weird random bin, I found 2 cables. Looks like kind of Shimano pair of shift cables, brand new, and one flat bar brake cable, looks stainless, brand new. I found one little bag of hardware in that weird bin that is a couple water bottle boss bolts, but it is mostly disc brake bolts and spacers for BB7s, like some long ones, some short ones. I don't really have any disc brake stuff. I can't help myself. I'm a hoarder. And the pedals at one mismatched MKS touring pedal. It's got a real scuffy dust cap, but I have a nice set of track pedals on the next project I'm starting that's missing one dust cap. They're MKS. So worst case, I can steal, it'd probably been cheaper to actually just buy one of these brand new. I think they're like $4. $2 a pound. I probably paid $1 for this, whatever. But worst case, I have one scuffy MKS dust cap to steal now. The other guy's in Vintage Parts, he beat me there, and he dug through the brakes and found several sets of pads and some cool brakes. I was like, oh man. But I went and dug through them anyways, and he missed this set. They're upside down the back. They are $9.99. So these pads are probably 10 or 12 years old, but new old stock, they'll probably be stoppy. They'll probably be fine. Cool stop Eagle 2s. Dug through the saddles and found a couple. I didn't even really look at this one very hard, but this is a Physique Wing Flex. Rondi, I think it's like the cheaper, less cool one. Maybe it's the women's one, it's a little wider. It's in good shape, and it's not scuffy at all. And for a while, the more expensive version of these were like the saddle. So it's still kind of cool. Put some cred on something. There's a nice saddle in the box. I also bought this one. It's real leather, specialized, with some blue, narrow racing saddle, probably from the 90s or something, with magnesium rails. Doesn't seem that light. But whatever. Whatever. I don't know why I bought it. I found this bag with just a couple of barrel adjusters, brand new. Who doesn't want some brand new barrel adjusters? I'm always getting brake levers and mangled barrel adjusters or mismatched barrel adjusters. Like, cool. I'm sure it'd be like $2 to buy them new. Some horrible cheap online thing. I did dig through the brakes. I did find a few things. So I found a complete set of these Cane Creek SX5, CSX5 or whatever. They have replaceable pad holders. They're all complete except for these take a special tapered head bolt. I didn't see those. I didn't see their hardware bin. Maybe those bolts will pop up somewhere. I might have a few. I try and save them sometimes when brakes are all scuffy because they're proprietary and weird, but it will be a nice complete set if I can find proprietary bolts. I also found this in a bag. And most of the stuff is all stuff people donate that they didn't think was nice enough or missing parts or whatever, so they put out for sale cheap, so they don't want to deal with it. Here's a set of the Tektro Onyx and Black. These things are notorious squealers, but, super cheap brakes in good condition. The pads are barely used. They also take the same proprietary bolt. They're probably the same brake. Really, really from the same factory. It's just different brands' logos on them. So now I need 6 of those bolts. One set of these Tektros. I like these CR720s. I put them on everything in the shop. They make these in kind of a bright polish. I used to buy those for everything, then polish the logos off. They come off really just chemicals, or I just take them to the buffing wheel, and the polishing wheel, just hit them for like a few seconds, it'll take them right off. And, you know, other than the bolts, they'll take pretty normal bolts. They're complete, so couldn't not grab those. Another set of weird, junky candy brakes. This is another set of the Onyx. So now I have 2 complete sets, also missing the bolts, but they have important stuff, springs, pinch bolts, whatnot. This one even has a horrible makeshift straddle cable made of a brake cable. Not cool. And check this wing nutty stuff out. I think this is the front cable stop made out of carbon fiber. I think. It's real wing nutty. In the free box at the end, I was digging around, they've had this little thing with a few DT Swiss 2.0 spoke nipples in a little box. That's a cool thing to have. One set of used brake pads, but they are the replaceable holder V-brake style RW2. I mean, whatever. They need new pads, but I have those, and replaceable holders are always way cooler, way more classic looking. Found this in some pile. It is an open bag, but it still looks new. Let's see. They're a little tiny bit dirty. They look like maybe barely used or test fit. Cane Creek brake hoods. Yeah, this one's brand new, so it looks like they tried to test fit one and it didn't fit. These fit a lot of vintage levers. They're 14 bucks. The only thing that sucks about this Cane Creek, they're readily available. They fit vintage levers, 70s levers. If you try and roll these up to do your bar tape under them, they will split almost every time. So you have to like carefully sort of pry them and barely wiggle the bar tape under. You can't like do the full roll like you can with Shimano to get them out of the way. This is cool. I got lots of old levers. Always need some hoods for something. When I had my shop, I used to stock every vintage hood I could find, every reproduction, every new old stock bag. I had so much stuff. I used to be a real hardware nerd. One set of Versalock by Axiom rack stays. Like bolt onto your rack and come out. I feel like I have some nice racks that are missing the stays, or that happens from time to time, or missing some hardware. Brand new in the bag. I couldn't grab them. More brakes. Got one set of generic silver brakes because they have removable pad holders, they have the barrel adjusters, they're complete with all the hardware, they're silver, they're nothing special. These might be perfect for the next build we're doing. We're going to do this Bridgestone RB2 next. And I'm thinking about leaving it all stock, but I hate those old stock brakes. I would really prefer, and it's recessed nut, and these are silver, classic looking, I would really prefer to put dual pivots on there, even cheap ones that'll wear out, because they're just twice as stoppy, and they're just so much better. Oh, I found another Schwin cable, all brand new in the bag from the 70s. I think this is cool. Another one I put up on eBay, no one cares. I thought someone would. It's a 3-speed shift cable on one side. Don't know what it is on the other. Oh, the other side's nothing, so it's just a 3-speed shift cable. Seems like someone might actually give me 10 bucks for this. I don't know. I did buy a freewheel. It's a nice big Sun Tour freewheel. It's dirty, but it does not look like it has many miles on it. It's vintage. It probably hasn't been ridden in 30 years. It really looks low miles. I'll have to really scrub it and clean it. But it's a nice Sun Tour Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speed. It looks like mountain bikey. This back tooth has to be at least a 30, maybe a 32. So I buy up all the freewheels, dude. They always sell on eBay for between $30 and $60, depending on how cool and what size they are. If they're, if they're good, if they're worn out, I'll throw them away. Sometimes I won't throw away a worn out Sun Tour because often people will only ride in the same 2 or 3 gears. I know I do. And only wear out those, and Sun Tours can come apart. You can overhaul them, and lots of guys who are into old stuff have the tools for that. They can mix and match cogs and do whatever they want. I grabbed this because I hate used cassettes. They're always worn out. This thing looks like it has 0 miles on it. I think this is a takeoff. So why not have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 speed takeoff cheap Shimano Hyperglide? This will be great for some project. I mean, you can get this on Alibaba for like other sketchy internet sites for like $10, or off eBay for like 14 or 15 with free shipping, but still, probably cost me $1. One ugly 2000 salsa stem, but it's not very scuffy. It's black. It's got all the bolts and logos. Logos look good on both sides and on the front. Like, why wouldn't I grab this salsa stem? I'm gonna put it on eBay for $20, and I think I'll get it easy. Easy. I'm so sick of SLR Pod C posts. I think they're cool. They come on stuff. No one cares. I came on a lot of 80s Japanese bikes. This is a 27.0, which is kind of nicer 80s Japanese bikes. And it is really pretty clean. I couldn't leave it there. I had to grab it. And it's got the cheesy head. It's clean. It's nice. 27.0. I don't know. I have like 3 27.0 C posts. I also grabbed this little dimension stem just because it's a shorty. It's a cutie. Little shorty stems. Most people want shorty riser stems. The logo's a little worn. The bolts have a tiny bit of crust on them, but it's not very scuffy. This is a great stem. I'm sure there's like 15 or 20 bucks new. Still sell for $10 all day at the shop. I did find a couple of hubs. So this hub I'm a little excited about. It's an American Classic, all black, double high flange, probably alloy cassette body. It's a little dug in. Well, it's already hit it with a file. Needs to be hit with the file a little bit more. When you run alloy cassettes, even sometimes tie, you need to run alloy spider cassettes. You can't just have a cassette that's all steel. It needs to have a big alloy spider the rings are riveted to, so you don't destroy stuff like this. More modern ones actually take will machine these splines down too narrow and like super glue in little stainless steel little toothpicks of metal basically, so a cassette can sit around there without digging in and damaging that body. You can see where it's all dug in. But still, this is pretty cool. Bearings feel great, man. It says American Classic right on it. I will probably put this up on eBay because sometimes American Classic stuff people are wing nuts about will buy. And if they don't, it's really light. This is so light and nice. Now maybe I'll build it into a wing nutty wheel for me, even though look at how narrow that is. It's such a weird shape and design. Whatever, it was cool. It's worth the waste of time. Oh, got me some wing nutty stuff. Lace locks, elastic shoelace locking system. It's elastic shoelaces for quick lace locking, like a quick release, and they have like the built-in reflective stuff on them. I could not do it. I could not do it. I don't know. I want reflective shoelaces, or maybe I'll use them with my bungee cargo net. I don't know. Seat cover, $2. I've gotten a couple seat covers recently and then realized they were missing like this thing. But this looks brand new. It's got some reflective bits on it. It is really big and heinous. Maybe it's more for like a cruiser style ladies seat. I don't know. Oh, it says Brooks on it. Ooh, Brooks, Italy. And that's what I wanted for. I just put on my Brooks. Because I got even though I hate Brooks, I kind of have one that I'm kind of not hating that much on my Nothing Special Schwin. So that's for me. I did get the first thing I found, and almost didn't buy because who cares. It's these Suntour AccuShift Edge Derailers, but it's a matching set. There's like no chain wear. It's pretty low miles and nice. And then what I did is then I found the cranks. So I stripped some Suntour bike. You know, it's nothing special, but like matching groupie stuff. Maybe they'll care. The guy who beat me with the brakes, he found the matching brakes and got them. And the shifters. I was like, oh, I really would have liked those matching down tube shifters. But whatevs. I did grab this one set. I usually don't buy used drifters, especially from there, because I'm just assuming they're all dead. But these are Sora 9-speed in black. And they seem to have all their clicks. 3x9 black Sora. This one's a tiniest bit scuffy, otherwise they're really nice. You know, I'll probably just put them on eBay. Maybe I'll use them on something. Always getting Sora derailers there. Other derailers I dug through and got. I got... Why? Suntour Edge or something derailleur. Very little wear. The logo's wiped off. Maybe I got this for the pinch bolts and stuff. I don't know. A tricolor Shimano 600 derailleur. It's real dirty with a little bit of wear. It might also just be bolts. I don't know if I clean it up. And the wear's not too major. I might try and sell it. And, oh, this is a 9-speed Shimano 105 triple front derailleur, 31A clamp. So I'll definitely just, it's like no wear at all. So this I'll definitely clean up and get 20 bucks for on eBay, maybe 25. I got this. This is a 9-speed Dior LX front derailleur. You know, I got the matching rear derailleur last week. And I got the matching shifters last week, maybe like 3 weeks ago, last time it was open before the holidays. So now I got kind of a mini group, if anyone cares. The 9-speed LX trailers were very popular for some reason. Guys put them on tons of road bikes, or upgraded to them. So I wonder if this is a particularly good year, if they're better than the regular Dior, just way cheaper. I got another like 6, 7-speed era Shimano 105 Brazon derailleur in really good shape. The logo's pretty good. It's not very scuffy. There's like no chain wear. Probably just going to eBay, but I have a bunch of 105 stuff right now. I might be building a bike out of it. I have like a wheel set that I think is good. Cranks. Got one left-handed cross top lever, missing a bolt, but it just takes a regular M5. There's nothing wrong with this. It's silver, it's just the left. This would be great for a fixie. Or, you know, I'm always missing and matching these. I get singles all the time. One set of not scuffy at all race face lock-on grips. The locks. They're really nice. I might put them on eBay or maybe hold on to them until I get some grips to fit on. Because they're like not scuffy at all. They say race face. It's like name brandy and cool. Dumpster Dave found a nice little Concours saddle and gave it to the other guys into vintage stuff. And I was bummed and giving him a hard time about it. So then he found these pedals and gave them to me. These are really lightweight. Ultegra, like SPD, SL, PD 8000. So it's 10-speed era, but this is like the 11-speed looking era. I think that's like a carbon or composite body. Anyways, they light. They're pretty modern. The logos are immaculate. They look like they've barely ever been ridden. They're probably a takeoff. Those on eBay, maybe there were some dough. I don't know. We got one clamp-on fender. They're trying to give away a lot of fenders, and I almost took a few, but I resisted. I only took this one. It's real dirty. I only took this one because I couldn't find them. I have like 3 of these somewhere, but I don't know where. I couldn't find them when I was test riding that fixed gear. It was all wet out. So I grabbed one more. Maybe I'll use it. Maybe I won't. After this, I walked over to Bike Farm because Bike Farm's doing all their frames on sale half off. They're already insanely cheap. They don't move. I donated like 3 frames to them like a year ago. They're still hanging up there, which is crazy. Like a nice little track. So I walked over to Bike Farm to take a look. There's a frame that's been hanging there for weeks and maybe months. Every time I go there, I go stare at it. I'm like, oh, I want to get this. So I asked how much. And they said, it's got the matching fork. It's pretty nice. Half price, $30. Usually they're like $45, so I was like, oh. But it is nice, and it's wing nutty. But I'm looking at it, I couldn't say no for 30 bucks. I have a tall friend, his size, but he's only into modern bikes, so I don't know if he'll be into it. But check this dude out. So this is a Schwin Voyager. They say it's a 64 centimeter, but I have not measured yet. The paint is actually pretty good. It's missing the logos. These things were made with all Columbus 10X tubes, which is like their modern chrome ore tubes, but I used in all of our Northern Clicketats. I used them in I used the stays, like the chain stays in almost everything we did. I used their seat stays in a lot of the bikes we did. Really wonderful tubes. Used their fork planes and tons of stuff. Double eyelidded. I think it's nice Tongay dropouts front and rear. They're chrome plated. The whole fork's been chromed. The rear dropout is the Suntour GT3. Nice, double eyelidded, chrome plated. So it looks good when it gets chipped up because the chrome's showing. I'm sure it's for 27-inch wheels, which is a drag. I might get lucky. I'm going to throw cannies on it with some wheels and see if it'll magically hit 700Cs in a way I like. Usually they won't. Usually they hit just like 4 millimeters too high. Who figured? And it's a drag. But maybe I'll find some nice 27-inch wheels for it. Rack mounts, fender mounts, chain hanger, cable guides, extra set of bottle bosses down here. None here, because people are wing nuts. It does have the wing nutty, it's 1984, so it's got the wing nutty, like 1 or 2 year only shift boss which is for some wing nutty Shimano shifter, so it's not shaped like a regular shift boss. And the trick for this is to get a set of those silver down tube barrel adjusters that bolt on. So you can run your ST levers in, and you file the front of those out that fits over this wing nutty keyway. That's the trick. So either that or you find the right down tube shifters, or you do not down tube shifter it and file a set of those and problem solved. Luckily, my friend Graham was hanging out in front of CCC as I was walking out of Bike Farm, and his dad worked for Schwin, is an old Schwin guy, and Graham knows everything about Schwins, and he could tell just by the shape of the head badge and the serial number. It was the 1984, and this was made, I think he said, in their Mississippi factory, so it was not even a Japanese one. It does have the beautiful, like, flat, semi-wraparound seat stay caps. That Super Sport bike I just finished does. Like, I love this bike. I love it. It's missing all the decals. Whatever. And it's huge. I might 650B it. My friend, my big tall friend Avery might want it. I couldn't pass it up, you know. So I got the Voyager, and I was looking around, and they had a big pile of donated bikes, and they had one old Peugeot crappy low-end mixty, which always have the white plastic Derailers and Mayfac levers, but instead, this one had these old French aluminum levers. I don't know if they're a high-end one or a low-end one made it look like a high-end one, but this brake lever is hot, and it's cool. I think it's oversized, which sucks. I'll have to probably find a clamp that's smaller. They have these on my duty. Sell me these right off the bike. I'll pull them off. And they're like, yeah, sure. So I pulled these off. $5. I've never seen these levers. I bet they're worth more than that. And I bet that I'll put them on my next old French bike. I do flat bar levers on her. Or cruiser bar levers. And they're all aluminum and they're all raw. So if one were so inclined to go insane and buy another polishing wheel, I could definitely sand these out with like a 3M deburring wheel, which is like kind of a hard Scotch-Brite, and grind all those scuffs and scrapes off, make them perfectly smooth, and then take them right to the polishing wheel and make these things look like jewelry. And I might, or maybe I'll put them on a beater as is. I don't know. This is like my favorite score, so there's one other thing. Somebody else there walked in the back. They're like, you can't come in the back, you can only buy the stuff out front. And he walked in the back and found some bike and bought it. I'm like, hey. Like, yeah, we don't sell stuff at the back. I'm like, why? It's like, oh, it's all back stock inventory. We're trying to sell it online, and you know, we put it up for sale once in a while. We'll take it to the other store. I'm like, so you have like 6 bike shops with an inventory that's not for sale that you're just complaining about how you can't figure out how to sell it or asking my help? I'm like, the way to sell it is to let me go look at it. Let everyone go look at it. Let people buy the parts they're trying to. You guys rearrange your shops, you can't buy anything. There's a wheel that's been hanging up in the back of the been able to eyeball. And a dynamo hub. I haven't seen it for months back there. So I'm like, let me go look at that wheel, dude. So I walked back and looked at this wheel. It was hanging up real high. I could barely see it. I thought it was a Panasonic hub, but it's not. It's a Sanyo. But it's a dynamo hub. It's got Supreme race, probably straight gauge spokes. Who cares? It is a more modern Open Pro. Not the really modern tubeless ones. Still Bob Hillhouse Professional Wheel Builder. They told me they thought this was a wheel from a wheel building class. Someone built this wheel. It's clearly never had a brake on it, which is cool. But now I see the sticker by some pro wheel builder. So I think this wheel was built and never used. It's a Sanyo, it's got the plug, it's dynamo, it's cool. And I asked, I'm like, it's at $150. I'm like, maybe. It's like, I'm not firm on that. I'm like, okay. I'm like, do you have any rear wheels that might match? And he's like, no. Like, anything with an Open Pro in silver? He's like, no, not at all. And I looked over, they had a pile of wheels. First one on the top was an Open Pro in silver. So I picked it up. It's a little bit older. Sidewall's not the same. The sticker's a little bit different, but it's still silver. It's still an Open Pro. It's used, but very gently. It's got DT Swiss spokes. It's got generic Shimano cheap silver hub. And I'm like, oh, well, there's one right there. He's like, okay. He's like, I'll do $150 for the pair. I'm like, nah. And he's like, $100 for the pair. He's like, wait, let me see. So I showed him the hub. He wanted to make sure it wasn't like a Derailers or something. He's like, okay, $100 for the pair. And I looked and I went, maybe, let me see a wheel stand. So I threw in a wheel stand and it's a little wonky, but I touched like 3 spokes and it's almost fine. I think another 5 or 10 minutes playing with it, it'll be perfect. And then I noticed that he did not. That it has a alloy spidered Ultegra cassette on it. So if this cassette is not worn out, that's going to be worth some dough used. So that's pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What? 11 speed? What? ooh, I actually kind of wanted 11-speed wheel because I have a giant cassette. And I think it'd be cool to do a wolf tooth thing and an old long cage derailleur and do an 11-speed city bike. Maybe this is how I do that 11-speed city bike. This little dynamo thing, this generic rear wheel, and that giant cassette. It's also thinking maybe I can put this wheel set on my Nothing Special Schwin, have dynamo, or maybe do a whole new project based around it. But for $100, it's pretty cool. Just noticed this Schwin, this big Schwin Voyager is a little teeny dent right up here, which is right where you hop off the saddle and drop your weight on. So whoever rode this before is probably a little too small for it. It's probably their pelvic bone. So, all in, CCC, I spent $45 on this box and junk, another $50 on that frame, then $100 for the wheels. So I'm in $195. I walked over to Bikes Farm and spent $35. So $230. It's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot for me. But I feel like this is a pretty good score. And now I got even more projects, even though I've been throwing projects I can't sell or don't want to build in the bed of my truck. The bed of my truck is just full on the street. I keep thinking people are going to come steal frames or wheels out of it. No one does. And I keep slowly putting stuff into a scrap aluminum pile out front. People keep picking away at it. I keep putting stuff up on Craigslist and Facebook, and no one cares. Just, no one cares about bikes anymore, man. People with the computer programming money do what they want to do, man. They follow those trends. Old scratchy junk ain't the trend, which is great for me because I can get it cheap. But not good for me because it's hard to sell. Oh, I did sell a bike. I built a bike for a video a little while ago. The cool one by like old MB5. I got the salvage sales for probably $15. And swapped some parts on and overhauled and did a cool build. It's a really cool build. If it said MB1, 2, or 3 on it, like it'd be cool. This is 5, so no one cares. But I took that to old Tomcat. He got $400 for it. I mean, it's fully overhauled. Brand new brake pads, cables, housing, chain, cassette. I think even new or really close to brand new tires. Like, really nice. Got $400, so my cut's $280. So he gets 33% or something. But I got to set the bike shop, and I got the eyeballs on it, and I got to sell. So I'm stoked on that. So that is my Sunday salvage video. I'm going to get this edited tonight, and tomorrow we are starting on this RB2, and it's going to be cool. I got some ideas. As long as nothing's frozen or terrible, I'm going to make it hot, hot, hot. So thanks for watching.